CTV News with Carlyle Fiset.
Good evening. Thanks for joining us. We begin tonight with tributes pouring in for a 14-year-old boy who was killed in a snowmobile crash over the weekend. With more on what happened and the community reaction, here's Jerry DeWan.
An obituary posted on Monday described Dominic Cross as a kind, fun-loving fella with a heart as big as his smile. The 14-year-old Cross died after a collision involving the snowmobile he was riding and a pickup truck. The crash happened on Road 92 near Line 23 in Zora Township.
I mean, every club member we have and every snowmobiler in the area that I know, just heavy heart.
Brandon Bowen is president of the Thamesford Snowmobile Club. He went to the scene on Saturday to help snowmobile trail riders navigate around the scene. He says there have been tremendous strides to make snowmobiling safer for all.
7 years that I've been helping, I've never seen something like this in our area.
In Ontario, anyone with a valid driver's license can ride a snowmobile. A person between 12 and 15 can obtain a motorized snow vehicle operator's license that can only be used on private property or designated snowmobile trails, which are groomed and maintained by clubs.
We install with volunteers all the trail signage, you know, your stop ahead, your stops, your speed limits, all the appropriate signage that OFSC requires for the trail.
Dominic Cross was a grade 9 student here at Ingersoll District Collegiate Institute. On Monday, the Thames Valley District School Board dispatched a team to try and help students and staff deal with his loss. In his obituary, Dominic was described as a lover of all sports, with his favorites being fishing and hockey. He was a U15 player with the Thamesford Minor Hockey Association. A celebration of life will be held at the Unifor Hall in Ingersoll on Saturday evening. In Ingersoll, Jerry DeWan, CTV News.
Police are starting to clear the scene near Western University more than a week after launching an investigation which led to multiple arrests and the discovery of potentially explosive chemicals. With the latest, including new charges against one of the suspects, here's Rita Ismail.
10 days after police descended on a quiet neighborhood near Western University, Chesham Heights is starting to return to normal. London police say while they'll remain in the area for an undetermined amount of time, equipment is being removed and partner agencies are no longer on scene. For residents, that shift is being welcomed.
It's altered the way we really choose to go out of our house. We've stayed in much more. When we've gone, we've had 2 separate police checkpoints that we've had to go through, although they've been very kind, very nice, no problems.
Others say despite the disruption, they felt safe.
Well, I have no concerns. They've been very good. We felt secure here. They've been looking after us safety-wise, and I'm going to trust the court system that they'll do what they need to do.
Some neighbors say police action may have prevented something far worse.
I thank the police at the checkpoint for catching the suspects when they did, before any harm might have been done.
And for families who were evacuated, relief is setting in.
I know that my neighbors that were evacuated are very pleased that they'll be getting back into their homes and start back to the way things used to be a couple weeks ago.
But while the police footprint is shrinking, the legal case is expanding. All 4 accused remain in custody. Court documents show one of them, 25-year-old Faye, also known as Frank Hahn, appeared in court today and is now facing additional firearm-related charges, including weapons trafficking. Hahn, along with 2 of the other accused, is scheduled to appear for a bail hearing Tuesday. The investigation began after a trespassing arrest at Western University led police to a loaded handgun and the discovery of hazardous chemicals inside a nearby home on Chesham Avenue. Since then, additional search warrants have been executed in Ottawa and Gatineau, with police confirming the investigation now spans multiple cities and provinces. London police say the case remains active and stress public safety continues to be their top priority. Rita Ismail, CTV News.
London City councillors say they aren't happy about a $7 million deal with Imperial Oil to relocate an unused pipeline. But as Daryl Newcomb reports, it seems it's the only way to widen a stretch of Sunningdale Road plagued by congestion.
They hold a lot of the power in these discussions, and that power extends to things like permitting.
A council committee had few options but to accept an agreement with Imperial Oil that would relocate a section of this pipeline so a congested stretch of Sunningdale Road can be widened to 4 lanes. The pipeline is currently unused but maintained in a state where it could be utilized. A draft agreement would see the city pay $7 million to Imperial Oil, approximately half the cost to decommission and move the pipeline further north. Councillor Corinne Rahman isn't happy Imperial Oil will eventually have a brand new section of pipeline that it can profit from, partially paid for by Londoners.
As a giant, you have to understand when you're taking advantage of folks, and I think we've done our best.
I am reticent to what feels like to me contribute to a large gas company's removal of a pipeline that seems like they might eventually have had to do it anyway because they don't have anything running through it.
The committee recommended accepting the agreement in hopes the pipeline will be decommissioned by summer. Road improvements would follow, including 4 traffic lanes, new bike lanes, and sidewalks.
They have to provide us with a permit at the end of the day, and so we're at the mercy of the pipeline operator to be able to move forward with this project.
Given the power imbalance, Councillor Rahman admits the financial deal reached by city staff is likely the best London can do, but she would like to have a further discussion about greater community benefits.
If they're going to at some point activate this line, then I'd like to see them get more involved in the community to support other infrastructure projects around the area.
Rahman believes the senior levels of government should be more active participants in negotiations between municipalities and the private operators of pipelines and railways.
This is where the federal government, the province have a role to play. Especially the federal government right now, pipelines are on their agenda. So let's have them get more involved in these types of negotiations.
If the new pipeline isn't built within 10 years, the city's contribution towards that phase of the project will be reimbursed. Council will make a final decision about the agreement with Imperial Oil on February 10th. Daryl Newcomb, CTV News.
Tenants at a Tillsonburg apartment building say they're being rent-evicted from their homes. However, the property owner claims renovations and safety upgrades are necessary to keep up with market conditions. As Brian Bicknell reports, residents say they're being treated unfairly.
Pure BS is what it is.
Oh, I'm kind of choked. It was really short notice. They could have done this way differently.
Brothers Robert and David Craig are not happy campers. They've lived in this apartment building on Devonshire Ave in Tillsonburg for 10 years, and now they're being evicted.
I've got to find a place to live because otherwise I'll be homeless. Yeah. And the situation in this town is horrible for renting anything.
Last month, tenants received a letter from the property owner terminating their tenancy. It explained that apartments are being updated and asbestos is being removed. Tenants could move back in when the work is complete in 8 months. No mention of how much they would pay in rent. They were also given a choice of accepting $5,000 compensation if they move out by the end of March.
We had about a week or two to decide on this whole cash buyout, if you want to call it that, of the current tenant lease you're in, and good luck and don't let the door hit you behind. Hopefully the check cashes, and that's about it.
We asked the building owner, Rex Brondile, for an interview. He did not agree to one. What we received instead was a series of statements explaining his reasoning and expressing his political views. If we don't fix our buildings, we're slumlords. If we do fix them up, we're greedy, said Brondile. The socialist agenda has ruined our housing in Canada, and until common sense returns, expect for things to get worse for every Canadian. Things did get worse for Canadians at another of his buildings in Chatham, Kent. Last week, tenants at Terrace 40 told CTV News a similar story to that in Tillsonburg.
But it is essential that necessary work to be completed to keep up with rental market conditions.
What are you going to do, David?
I kind of want to stay here, but you know, like when you can't afford a room, like what do you do?
Brian Bicknell, CTV News.
The mayor of Lucan Biddulph says she will not seek re-election this fall. Kathy Burkhart-Jessen posted her intentions on social media without providing a specific reason for the decision, only saying it was not made easily. This is Burkhart-Jessen's third mayoral term. She also ran for the Liberals in the most recent provincial election, finishing second in the Lambton-Kent-Middlesex riding with about 25% of the vote. A fundraising effort this weekend in St. Thomas benefiting the family of a young girl waiting for a liver transplant. With more on the overwhelming show of community support, here's Brent Lale.
A moment of reflection at center ice for those who need organ transplants. The 11U Stars hosting an awareness game.
Each year we pick a different association that we want to try and rally around. We picked the Ontario Transplant Association about 4 months ago, and just so happened a couple weeks ago, a local girl, Lily Wag, it came out that she was in need of a liver transplant.
We're trying to raise money for Lily so that she can get a new liver.
We have the Transplant Association here so we can raise awareness.
On the concourse, the Canadian Transplant Association's Kathleen Zavarese, a kidney and liver transplant recipient.
The liver, we call it like the super organ because it does so much, but can also, a portion of it can be donated. It will regenerate for the recipient and the donor, so it's a win-win. The person feels great being able to help save a life, and it gives the person a second chance.
The concessions are helping us out. We have a portion of their proceeds come to us today, and then a bunch of the kids making bracelets all week, signs all week, gearing up for this game and really rallying around. It's been really empowering.
In a message to CTV News, Ryan Wag says Lily is still waiting for a donor, and he's appreciative of everything this Young Stars team has done for his family.
The outpour has been amazing. Like, I'm not even from this area, and I can tell you that the story has been shared across the province. People in New Brunswick and Nova Scotia are sharing it and resharing it. It's gone, it's widespread. Don't give up hope because that match is out there.
Lily's grandmother was in attendance and even delivered a pregame speech.
I hope you guys win.
And on the ice, the Stars didn't disappoint. Not only did they beat West Lorne 5-4, they managed to raise more than $2,000 for the Wag family and the Transplant Association. Brent Lale, CTV News.
February is Black History Month, and members of the local Black community are celebrating the Forest City's untold stories, contributing to London's history. With more, here's Lauren Stallone.
As February marks the start of Black History Month, researchers from Western University are working to uncover stories lost in London's history.
London feels very much like a white space, especially when you look at historical pictures of London. But there are lots of locations in London that testify to this Black experience, and so we wanted to explore that more.
And one location is especially meaningful, here at the corner of Rideout and Dundas.
This was the location of Alfred T. Jones's apothecary shop. Alfred T. Jones escaped from enslavement in 1833. And he came to London via St. Catharines, and then he became the owner of a drugstore.
Researchers say just across the street from the apothecary shop once stood a dry goods store owned by Alfred T. Jones's brother.
It's a really good example of how visible Black presence was in London. And how maybe erased it is now.
They say it is important we continue to discover stories and understand London's Black history.
We're really trying to find more information from sources that aren't always consulted, and from people that weren't always consulted when, our current interpretations of history were being constructed.
Meanwhile, members of London's Black community are hosting events throughout the month to showcase the strong and ongoing presence across the city.
It's always that past looking towards the future. It is the endless possibilities. It's to make sure that rights that were hard won are not being taken back or in current climate.
The Museum of London will be hosting a Black History Month opening ceremony this Saturday, an opportunity to reflect, learn, and celebrate London's vibrant Black history.
The theme this year is Empowered Voices, Endless Possibilities, 200 Years of Living History. It's going to be a very exciting, exuberant day.
The event will take place from 1 to 4 p.m. Lauren Stallone, CTV News.
When we come back, commence countdown, a launch date set for now for London astronaut Jeremy Hansen's trip around the moon. Canada's main stock index began regaining some of the ground it lost at the end of last week. The TSX up 260 points. In New York, the Dow added 515, the Nasdaq up 130. The Canadian dollar lost almost 2/3 of a cent on commodity markets. Gold fell more than $92 an ounce. Oil lost $3 a barrel. The countdown is on, less than a week away now from the scheduled launch date for the Artemis moon mission. On board, London's Jeremy Hansen, the first Canadian to venture that far into space. And watching on, his parents, who live in Ingersoll. They spoke with John Venevalley-Rao about their feelings before blastoff.
So this is Orion Jeremy spacecraft, and he's going to be up in there for the launch. So pretty amazing.
Jeremy Hansen's parents are excited to finally see their son climb into the top of this rocket and blast off towards the moon.
I'm Jeremy Hansen.
What has long been his dream.
This is when we took him when he was in kindergarten.
Mom and Dad happily showing us pictures of Hansen as a space-obsessed kid here at age 6 during a visit to the Kennedy Space Center. On his first day of school, he carried a Star Wars lunchbox.
So this one is Happy Birthday from Space.
And check out the cake Mom made him when he turned 7, featuring Martians and a moon made of icing. And now their only child, who just turned 50, is set to boldly go deeper into space than anyone's gone before.
We're so happy that Jeremy's going to finally live out his dream. But we're also very nervous.
Hansen and 3 American astronauts hope to board NASA's Artemis rocket as early as next Sunday, then head off on a 10-day voyage, slingshotting around the moon. The rocket is set to undergo a critical fueling test this coming week, with Hansen aiming to be the first non-American ever to leave low Earth orbit.
I think it'll be a proud moment for the whole country.
Mom and Dad are heading to Florida ahead of the possible launch. They say it's something Hansen's wanted to do since he was 5 and came across an encyclopedia entry about Neil Armstrong on the moon.
Then he went out that night and looked up the moon, then he was thinking, I could go up there.
And he came out that day and said, I'm going to be an astronaut. We didn't think he would.
On the Ontario farm where they lived, Hansen converted the treehouse into a spaceship.
He had some old breakers, with the switches.
Like, make it look like it was like controls and everything. Very imaginative.
They say they know the mission has its risks, given the rocket and capsule, which are new, have never carried people before. Mom putting it bluntly.
He might not come back.
But she says she has a lot of confidence and trust in NASA.
Some people think it's just another launch. But when your child's on that launch, it's different.
Proud parents hoping to soon see their son turn a childhood fantasy into reality. John Venevalley-Rao, CTV News, Ingersoll, Ontario.
There are other regional ties to the mission as well, which includes students and faculty at Western University. With more on that, here's Sean Irvin.
Inside the new headquarters of Western Space, excitement about the Artemis II mission is out of this world.
My excitement level is through the roof and spilling out my ears. It's amazing.
This PhD candidate is performing a small role on the Artemis team. Jack Hostrasser can't believe the moment is almost here.
Even now, with the rocket on the launch pad and they're putting fuel in it, it's just so big.
Well, he will join other students to watch the launch from London. Another Western scientist will see it as close as non-NASA personnel can get. Dr. Gordon Osinski is part of the science team planning for Artemis III, the first mission that will land on the moon and return new space rocks.
You will have a new batch of samples from somewhere on the moon we've never been to before, either with robots or humans.
But with that liftoff more than a year away, Osinski is focused on the launch of Artemis II.
Everything's becoming to feel a lot more real. With Jeremy Hansen, somebody I know very well now, about to be strapped to the top of the rocket and heading off to the moon.
After all, few of us under 60 can recall this moment.
One small step for man, one giant leap for mankind.
That leaves the door open for a new era of space excitement and cooperation in a time when the world needs positive distractions.
I really do hope that Artemis 2 is going to elevate the profile of space, not just in Canada, but around the world.
This is going to open up decades worth of new science projects for new students to discover new things. Like we're not just here for Artemis 2, we're here for the story that's about to begin.
In London, Sean Irvin, CTV News.
Good evening. We have some light flurries overnight. Not quite as cold as it's been over the past couple of nights, but still dealing with wind chills into the minus teens. Thanks, Linda, for this photo of Brenna. You can see all that snow caught up in Brenna's coat. If you are heading out for a walk tomorrow morning, expect some light flurries, and the winds will be shifting to the northwest. Temperature by 8 o'clock, -9. I'll have your local weather details in just a few minutes.
Welcome back on the desk with Julie now, and it does feel like we've at least turned the corner on the deep freeze that we were feeling, especially last week. I don't know that we're going to see a big melt anytime soon, doesn't sound like, but not as cold as we were.
Yeah, that cold was brutal, and it felt like it was just so long. In terms of today, when we see a high of -7, I heard someone in the newsroom talking about how mild it was outside today. Not sure about that, but definitely when you compare it with temperatures feeling close to -30, it was a nice break. We did have some sunshine to kick off the week, followed by some flurries, but it was cold this morning. The wind chill, -25. Overnight in London, we're about -10, Midwestern Ontario from -7, along the lakeshore to a -11. Satellite radar shows a weak system coming through. We have a pair of cold fronts that will be crossing the Great Lakes, so winds overnight fairly light, and as we head into tomorrow, the winds will be shifting northwest. We have seen a bit of accumulation in through Grey and Bruce County through the late evening. Flurries will continue, and the chance for flurries as we head through your Tuesday. So you can see nothing significant in terms of heavy accumulation. We will see some flurries and some lighter snowfall develop east of Toronto, as you can see, as we head towards the Kawarthas and east towards Ottawa. But the rest of the region, mainly cloudy with breaks and just a chance for some light snow. Trace amounts expected in London, totaling just 2 centimeters. As we head north of London, Huron and Perth County, you'll likely see about 2 to 4 centimeters, and in Grey and Bruce as well. So that'll be total as the system comes through tonight and into tomorrow. Flurries. Temperature tomorrow, not too bad at -6 in the afternoon with winds out of the northwest. Over the next 7 days, temperatures will take a bit of a ride. So as we head into tomorrow night, we'll drop back down to -17. So still some very cold nights on the way. And especially if you're spending time outdoors, just be mindful. Mix of sun and cloud on Wednesday, -6. Thursday, a clipper comes in Thursday night. This one drops in with an area of snowfall. We'll pick up snow Thursday night into Friday. But look at the temperature Friday. That's a nice little treat in terms of coming in just a bit above the freezing mark. Forecast high +1. Snowfall generally 5 centimeters, enough that you'll need to brush your cars off and, of course, get your shovels as we head into Friday evening, just mainly cloudy. A mix of sun and cloud Saturday, a nice weekend for travel, calmer conditions, and great weather to enjoy some winter fun. Daytime highs from -8 to -10. And we'll wrap it all up day 7 with a forecast high of where we should be for this time of year at -3. Midwestern Ontario, I mentioned additional accumulation for you overnight and into tomorrow. Again, this is not significant. Of course, anytime we get any snow on the snow-covered roads, it creates some slick conditions. So just be prepared for that as you head at the door in the morning. Flurries will linger into the afternoon, 2 to 4 centimeters total. -8 on Wednesday under a mix of sun and cloud. Cloudy Thursday. Thursday night snow with the clipper comes in, and then Friday we have flurries in the forecast as we head into the afternoon. So some snow Thursday into Friday morning, lingering flurries, and then a mix of sun and cloud Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. Daytime highs over the weekend on the cold and well below normal side, but we'll round out day 7 right where we should be for this time of year with forecast highs between -3 and -4. Carlyle, back to you.
Thanks very much, Julie. A major fundraiser this past weekend for local athletes.
I'm very excited to put on a good competition here.
It's an annual event hosted in Aylmer, bringing in Special Olympic teams from all over the province. The basketball tournament coincided with a promotional Tim Hortons campaign, raising money for events like this.
It's a national campaign, and across Canada last year we raised $1.3 million just from people purchasing a donut on Donut Weekend. So it's very important those funds go directly towards supporting the athletes.
Local police organizations were also on hand in support, promoting their law enforcement torch run campaign, which they say is the largest source of Special Olympics fundraising. CTV News London has a newsletter helping you start your day with the latest local headlines. By signing up, you'll get local news content from CTV London direct to your inbox, including top stories, the forecast, and videos. You can sign up at ctvnewslondon.ca. Finally tonight, crowds gathered in Wyerton today for the 70th edition of the community's Groundhog Day festivities. With more on Wyerton Willie's prediction this year, here's Scott Miller.
What Willie told me is he did not see the sun, so everybody knows what that means. 1, 2, 3, it's an early spring!
For the 6th consecutive Groundhog Day, Wyerton Willie hasn't seen his shadow, which by tradition means it will be an early spring.
It's fitting for the weather we've been having for the last 2 to 3 weeks, so, you know, people in this area are used to this type of thing. We're here in the wintertime, we know what it's like, but it is nice to hear from Willie on a beautiful day like today that it's going to be an early spring.
Wake up, Willie! Wake up, Willie! A parking lot packed with folks from across Ontario braved minus 20-degree temperatures this morning to hear Wyerton Willie's prediction, which was music to most people's ears.
I'm ready for an early spring this year. Too much snow already. Yeah, at this point. I mean, I do love winter, but at this point, I'm ready for spring.
That would be great because my car said it was minus 18 this morning heading out here, and let's get her a little warmer. Early spring would be great.
Like much of Ontario, Wyerton has been absolutely buried in snow this winter. Almost 350 centimeters so far. That's what Wyerton would normally get in an entire winter. Although enthusiastic for Willie's prediction of an early spring, some in the crowd are questioning just how realistic it might be.
Well, I mean, I'm excited for tulips, but it's hard to believe that spring's coming early when it's this blistery cold, but we can stay optimistic, right?
I mean, I do have hopes that it is going to be an early spring, but I don't really know with how cold it is.
So once again, the crier's bell did ring. Yes, Willie predicts. Now hear this, it's an early spring!
In Wyerton, Scott Miller, CTV News.
And that's it for us. Thanks for watching. For all of us at CTV News London, I'm Carlyle Fiset. Have a good night.